Well, a tale as old as time. Former First Lady Michelle Obama is back complaining. Literally, I banished her to Bitch Island 1,000 times because all she does is bitch and moan. Apparently, she keeps coming out of the woodwork and doing interviews to complain. Now, to show you how ridiculous she is, she's on a book tour, not because she wrote some brilliant book with wisdom for young girls that's going to shape them and change their lives. She did a book on her clothes and her hair. Okay, the level of narcissism, the sheer narcissism. Like, you're a former first lady and you're doing a book on your clothes and your hair, and then Michelle Obama's fans want to get mad at us for talking about her clothes and her hair. She is literally making money doing a book on that very thing. And look, I'm not a supermodel. I understand. Am I in a position to opine on how people look? Not really, but it's my job. Y'all can talk about my hair and my outfits. I don't care. It doesn't hurt me, okay? And it certainly isn't hurting Michelle Obama because she lives in a massive mansion. But we have a clip. We have a clip where Michelle Obama complains that she had to go out of her way to show her feminine side.
Want to be professional, at least I did. I wanted to be taken seriously, but there is the expectation that's there's a level of femininity to being the first lady. And as a Black woman, I felt that I had to make sure that people could see my feminine side.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a Black woman, a tall 5'11" Black woman.
Okay, new drinking game. Every time Michelle Obama starts a sentence with, as a Black woman, take a shot, okay? Take a shot of whatever you have in your cup. It's hump day if you're listening to us. If you're listening to us on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, take a shot, take a sip. Because Michelle Obama, the one thing you can expect her to do is to start every sentence with, as a Black woman, I thought we were supposed to have equality of the sexes. I thought your husband was supposed to break down barriers for Black people. I thought he was supposed to uplift the Black community. What are we still doing with all the DEI identity politics crap? Okay, Michelle Obama's like, as a Black woman, I have it so hard. No, you literally fly around on private jets and live in a massive mansion and probably own multiple homes. You have a home in a really nice neighborhood in Washington, D.C., a home in Martha's Vineyard, God knows where else, okay? So for Michelle Obama to complain like she just has it so tough, it's why these Democratic elites are so out of touch with working class Americans. Kamala Harris was out of touch with working class Americans. The forgotten men and women of this country, they don't want to hear a rich woman like Michelle Obama complain about her hair and her clothes. I'll also say this. If you're a woman, why do you have to try so hard to show your feminine side? She's like, as a 5'11" woman, I had to work really hard to show my feminine side. Really? Really? No one was even judging you that harshly. Like, Vogue loved you. The, liberal literati in New York City, they loved Michelle Obama. All they did was heap praise on her. They put her on the cover of Vogue 3 times. She was on the cover of Vogue 3 freaking times. And now she wants to say that she was judged harshly for her clothes. All you were was praised for your clothes ad nauseum, time and time again, Michelle Obama, time and time again. And the last thing I have to say about Michelle Obama's bitch complain tour is this, okay? She complains that she was judged for her clothes and her hair and all of that as First Lady. It was just so hard living in sort of this glass house in the White House and being watched and observed. Say thank you. Say thank you for having the privilege and the honor of being First Lady. Just say thank you. Is it that hard? No one needs to hear you complain. Second of all, First Lady Melania Trump is judged so harshly for every little thing. The liberal media doesn't show Melania Trump any grace. They praise Jill Biden. They praise Michelle Obama because they check that box. They're Democrat women, okay? So they check that box. Melania Trump is judged so harshly. She had to watch her husband almost die. How many assassination attempts has her husband had? She's watched her home get raided. Her drawers were gone through by the FBI at Mar-a-Lago. And you want to come on here and say that you had it hardest as First Lady? And Melania Trump never complains. You would never hear First Lady Melania Trump go out on a TV show and complain, oh, they didn't like my dress. They really didn't like that hair. No, she loves this country. First Lady Melania Trump, one thing I love about her, she talks about how she came to this country the right way. She embodies the American dream. She knows it's an honor and a privilege to be First Lady of the United States. Melania Trump would never go out there and complain. Michelle Obama is literally doing a tour to complain that 10 years ago, some people maybe said they didn't like her dress. Try harder, sister. But we got to move on to someone else, and that is Karine Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre. Now, speaking of identity politics, former White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, whenever I say her name, I imagine she has like a beret and a baguette and one of those like long, obnoxious French cigarettes. That's what I imagine when I say Karine Jean-Pierre, the first black French lesbian woman to be press secretary, and we don't give a crap. But Karine Jean-Pierre, she's also making the rounds, right? She's also making the rounds to promote her book called Independent. I think what we should do, Kamala Harris, she's on her book tour. It's an utter calamity. Michelle Obama, she's on her book tour. It's a disaster. Karine Jean-Pierre, I think all three women could get together and just do a tour where they complain about being women of color, because that's what they're all doing separately. Maybe they could all combine forces and do like a trio. You know what I'm saying? They could go do a little trio, kind of like the Spice Girls, or the lack of Spice Girls. They can go do a little tour and complain about how they had it so hard being in the White House. That's something they all have in common, actually. They're all women of color who had the privilege and the honor of working in the White House, and then all they do is bitch and complain about it. So maybe they can go on the bitch tour and complain together. KJP, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris. Hello, give me my 10% cut. Give me my 10% cut and finder's fee right now, ladies. But Karine Jean-Pierre, I want to play you a clip of her, Karine Jean-Pierre, and I'm actually girding my loins to listen to this clip because she's also insufferable. She complains we should not be telling her how to identify.
Pisses me off that people who have not walked in my shoes, who have no idea who really I am as a person, get to tell me how I get to identify myself.
Jake?
So it's like,
Shut up.
I was like, you can't tell me how I get to identify myself. You can't tell me how I get to call myself. Like, screw you. Like, that's not okay. Like, that is not okay. You have no right to tell anybody how they should identify themselves and how they see themselves in the world. Like, you have not walked through my battles. You have not walked through my life. You don't even know my personal story.
I'm so tired of the victim card. I'm tired of the victim card from someone who is the White House press secretary who has made millions and millions of dollars. And she's like, you haven't walked in my shoes. You haven't walked in my journey, and you haven't walked in my shoes. Nobody walks in anyone's shoes, okay? You don't walk in my shoes. People at home watching this, I don't walk in your shoes, okay? And you don't want me to walk in your shoes because I'm barefoot and my feet are sweaty and stinky right now. But nobody walks in anyone's shoes in life, okay? I don't know who told these chicks, Karine Jean-Pierre, Michelle Obama, and Kamala Harris, that everything was supposed to be hunky-dory. Life's tough, okay? Life's tough. So all of this, you don't know my journey and you haven't walked in my shoes. I don't know who didn't tell you this growing up. It's every man for themselves out here, okay? It's survival of the fittest. It's the freaking Hunger Games out here, okay? No Ozempic. But it's the Hunger Games out here in life. Every man for themselves. So stop complaining, okay, that people are discussing you when you're on a book tour. You're coming out with a book. You're probably making millions of dollars off the book, and then you're mad when we want to critique you and critique the book? Get a freaking grip, you idiot. You idiot, Karine Jean-Pierre, you bird brain, you little bird brain, KJP. Get a grip, okay? And if she doesn't want people discussing her identity, then she needs to stop going on every show and talking about her identity. Talk about what you've done and what you've accomplished. But the thing is that these women have accomplished nothing. Nothing. KJP, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris has nothing to do with skin color, nothing to do with gender. I would say the same thing if they were white, handsome men. Okay, I call it like I see it for everyone. I judge everyone the same, and that's one of the things you guys like about me, and one thing we have in common. I judge men, women, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you name it, all the same. I judge based off of merit. None of them have done anything. So that's why when they go on these shows and they're backed into a corner and people say, well, you kind of messed this up and you messed this up and what have you accomplished? They go, well, I'm a black woman. I'm a woman of color. I'm a minority. I don't care. I literally don't care if you're like a purple cyclops from Venus, okay? Just tell me something you've done in life. Tell me something you've done. I want to talk about snacks for a minute. Back in the day, chips and fries were cooked in tallow. Then the 90s hit and big corporations pushed cheap seed oils. Now those oils are 20% of our calories, linked to inflammation and metabolic problems. Not cool. You guys know I love Vandy crisps, and they're bringing it back with just 3 ingredients: heirloom potatoes, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow, no seed oils. That tallow's loaded with nutrients for your skin, brain, and hormones, and it makes these chips taste unreal. You feel light Energized, no bloat or crash like with regular chips. They're 100% American made, no shortcuts, and hands down the best chip I've had. The tallow means you're satisfied without overeating. My favorite, Smokehouse Barbecue. It's next level. Ready to level up your snack game? Give Vandy a try and go to vandycrisps.com/link and use code LINK for 25% off your first order. That's vandycrisps.com/link. Code LINK for 25% off your first order. And if you don't feel like ordering online, that's fine. Vandy is now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket, so stop by and pick up a bag before they are gone.